How was your tour?
Really nice. The whole Dream Team tour was at least such a phenomenal and positive experience. So much love and unity between all the actors, and an amazing audience response. To see that kind of excitement and support from the audience, I don't think I had expected that. And even all the boys, even though they're still like relatively newer, amazing praise. I mean, amazing responses they would get from the audience.
You know, everyone is praising yours and Siddharth's chemistry in this film. What do you have to say on that?
See, I always believe that chemistry first has to be there in the script for it to be portrayed by two actors, and then after that, of course, it helps if you get along and if the person's easygoing, and if there's a nice vibe between the two of you, if there's a trust, if you're both working together, you know, as a team and not as not separately, and Sid is a great guy to work with. He's a very easy person. He's very steady. His energy is steady. He's very, you know, in control of what he's doing, and he's a great performer, and that helps you.
In comparison to Phantom and Fitur, do you think this is a safer film as far as the box office is concerned? Because
I don't think there's anything as a safe film. I think a film connects to the audience or it doesn't connect to the audience. If we could know if a film would connect to the audience, then we would only do hit films. I've been pretty fortunate. I think that for the most part, the audiences have supported most of the films I've done. But sometimes it doesn't go right, and there's something which goes amiss in the film, and that's when the film doesn't do well. Baar Baar Dekho as a script is I believe one of the best scripts that I've heard, and it touched me personally, and it moved me personally. It was something which I felt that I could relate to so many moments that Dia goes through, and what she's going through in the film. And when I thought about it, I thought it's not really just me. If this connects to me, I believe it's going to connect to most women.
So the last two films were content-driven films, and you got good reviews despite whatever that happened at the box office. Out here also, it looks like a good performance in its way. So, is this a move you're doing it with your selection of films, where you are displaying if the bar has been raising as per your performances?
I've tried to better myself and to do different kinds of cinema from the beginning, I think, of my career. Whether I remember a lot of people had questioned at the time. I think I was shooting for back to back for a film like Singer's King and a film like New York. So both very different films. New York had no songs, had no lip sync, doesn't have the traditional trappings of glamour, whereas Singer's King was a very, on the surface, glamorous, high-octane energy film. So I've always tried to maintain that balance. Maybe not always succeeded, but for the most part I've tried to maintain that balance, even with a film like Rajniti or then Mere Brother Ki Dulhan, different things. For me, when I hear the script, I just think, I don't know, it either connects to you or it doesn't. If it doesn't connect, or if there's been times where I've been a little maybe careless or not completely true to myself in doing the film, that's the time when the film has not worked.
Katrina, has being on social media now changed you as a person in any way, or how do you see it now that it's been some time?
No, I'm exactly the same person as I've always been. It's just that people see, I guess it's what social media is that the certain sides of you people don't get a chance to see. Now they get a chance to see.
Right.
But the person that you are does not change. Right. It's just they're seeing different avenues or different glimpses into you or your life that they have not seen before.
Right. You know, we also see how on social media sometimes fans do get nasty. How do you tackle those situations?
See, I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken, that happens so much on Facebook. So at the moment I'm only on Facebook, and I don't think that really happens on Facebook. I think this happens more in Twitter, primarily in Twitter, which I'm not on yet. So it took me this long to get onto Facebook, and hopefully it won't take that equally long to get onto Twitter.
No, when you were shooting for Baar Baar Dekho, possibly you were going through a lot of things. Was that a hindrance ever for you while you were shooting for the movie?
You know, I believe that everyone needs to separate their personal from their professional life, and although there's a lot that can be said on this topic, and I'm sure a lot of people could understand and would be able to understand what I would say if I was to say something. But having said that, I've taken the decision, and I've always stood by that, to not comment on this topic. So it's what I feel is right, and I have my reasons.
We admire you for that, but how unfair is it when the other party starts talking and in a tell-all interview, and how do you take it? I mean, Because the dust has get settled and it comes out all of a sudden.
So you take every moment in life as it comes, and I still say that even though I can understand where every time a person of the media asks me this question, it comes from a place of care and love, and I believe that, and I completely respect that. I just still choose to remain with my decision not to comment on
Is
it.
that the dignified Katrina? I mean, she will never
Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, even if someone
we can dissect the statement, but it still remains the same. It's just the personal decision not to talk about it.
Katrina, you also.
Yeah,
Good.
you are looking very beautiful in this film.
Thank
and
you.
You're being praised for your looks. We have seen you in bikini and really looking sizzling. So how was it getting into a bikini body?
The physical shape that for the particular portion of the film in Baar Baar Dekho you're talking about was actually not an intention for glamour. It's an intention to create a different physical look between two ages in the film. So of course you have the prosthetics at 46, you have the prosthetics at the age after that, but there is an age in the film right after they get married where there was not much we could do with add-ons, with clothes or something, and so we wanted to give that difference in physicality. And the easiest way one does that, of course, we've seen mainly guys do that, like Amir or someone, but is with weight, like in a very different way, of course. And Dangal Amir has done that with his transformation, which you're going to see. That's of course a different level. This is nothing like that, but you just have to have discipline. It was just something we wanted to achieve. And you have to have discipline and put in the work and put in the hours. There's no other shortcut there.
Katrina, there is a moment in the trailer when Siddharth says, "मुझे career पे focus करना है, शादी पे नहीं." You know, generally are men shying away from marriage these days? Do they run behind careers?
I'll choose to take the stance that I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's a person thing. There are women I know who also are not wanting to get married and who are wanting to focus on their careers, and there are lots of men, of course, I know who want to focus on their careers and not get married. If one has to generalize, by nature I do think women are a little more inclined towards family and towards attachment and towards protecting and rearing and that. Most women are like that. I do believe that. There are some women who see differently, who feel differently. That there's this book called Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, who I think she spoke extensively on this topic. If you ask me personally, I would like to have both.
But would you give up your flourishing career for a man you love?
Absolutely, if I wanted to.
Oh, you would?
Absolutely, if I wanted to. Not being forced or coerced. But if that's what I felt, then absolutely.
So yeah, from your own
If I
heart.
felt that I wanted in my heart to be at home and raise children, absolutely. That's every woman should follow her instinct and her feeling in that matter.
Katrina, where do you picture yourself?
Commitment for them to come with an accent correctly every man like that in this generation and in the same time.
Are we talking about women and men in this generation? Are we talking about women and men? Am I considered in this generation?
Absolutely.
I'm not commitment focused.
Katrina, where do you picture yourself at the age of 35, 46 and 60? 35.
Okay, so 35 is not far away. 46 is a little further away. 50. I'll tell you very honestly right now, I am not even picturing myself in 3 days from now. It's been a very whirlwind kind of a year for me. There's a lot on my plate, and right now my focus is as per what I'm doing immediately. It's a little bit of a short-term plan, but I believe there are times in life where you do need to kind of just immediately see what is around you and what's on your plate. Put your full energies on that, and those may be the times in life where something wonderful happens when you least expect it. And I'm speaking very fast on purpose because you're recording it and they're going to cut you off so you can get more questions.
What are the 5 best reasons to give the audience to watch
Baar Baar Dekho. Great story, real emotions, fantastic director, a wonderful character for women, and Siddharth for the girls.
What message you have given, what message audience will get from this movie?
The message I took with me from the end of the movie was that we need to focus and we need to remember that it's not always the destination, but it's also the journey that matters. We're all in such a rush to achieve or to gain a name or position or a place that sometimes we're forgetting, are we even happy on this journey? Are we enjoying every day? Are we enjoying every moment? Apart from that, as a woman, I think it resonated very strongly with me, because I do believe a lot of times, especially when a woman is at home and she's not getting that kind of importance or that attention or being made to feel special from the man in her life, it's a very frustrating feeling, especially in the cases of women who are raising children. I think you can almost, at times, I believe that a woman can almost be made to feel a little inconsequential, and that's it's a very sad feeling. It's a very painful and it's a very lonely feeling more than anything. So I think that loneliness and that frustration that Dia's character goes through in the film was something which was very emotional. And of course, without giving away the end of the film, it's going to be something, I believe, that as you were saying, today's generation or today's youth or everyone for that matter is going to be able to relate to some moment in the film. Like whether it's this portion or that portion or which bit of the film might differ, but I do believe everyone is going to be able to say at different moments in the film that this has happened in my relationship or this is happening in my relationship.
Are you happy with your journey? Are you happy with your journey?
Which journey? Where?
This journey.
My journey in
personal and career life.
Absolutely, it's been a phenomenal one. It's been one of the most filled with the most amazing moments and filled with the most amazing emotions. And if I was to not live another day, and if I was to look back at my life from just this moment and to look back, the only thing I would be able to say is what an incredible life I've lived.
When you've been certain part of the press media or they talk more about your personal than your films, your acting or your career.
No, I don't give it too much attention. Nothing or no one is stopping me from doing my work. So everything else is just excuses. It's just incidental and it's excuses. Until or unless something actually stops me from going to work or from being able to go in and do my job, then that's when, obviously, as I said, that would demotivate you, and that would be a moment you would have to do something about it.
Are you approached for the film?
You are mistaken. It has not been announced.
It is.
There is speculation.
Even Kavi tweeted about it.
Yeah, even Kavi tweeted now wait for the.
Then you are right and I am wrong.
So have you been approached for the film?
So as you all know, and as boring as it sounds, until I have signed or announced the film, I never speak on the film. So whether it's, as you're saying, Anand Rai's film or this speculation of this film, or before anyone else asks me the Dharma film, there's no announcement right now. So no, not that one. Oh, she's no, another film. That's another film. Or ABCD3. That's a Disney film.
But if given a chance, would you come back as Zoya again? Because that is one character which won a lot of acclaim for your action, as well as it was a very strong character.
See, speculation doesn't. I mean, we don't know what I don't know anything about it. So I think let's just let us wait and see what the developments are on all of these fronts.
But
Again, as I said, this is my comment. Let's wait and see what the developments are on all of these fronts. I have not signed any of these films. And every film that I will sign depends on the script and should always depend on the script. Is it a great film and a great role? If the film is great and the role is great, then why not?
But what are you signing?
Of course. Why would I mean no? Of course, yeah. He's a legend, and every moment on set with him is a learning.
You recently worked with Salman also for the
I remember Ranveer said that the first look would be out, but it's been a long time. What's the update, Katrina? When do we see it?
I believe they announced the release date
Recently?
next year. April, no? March, April.
April 14.
So, I remember during the making of Barfi, because I've known Anurag Basu for a long time. He's a dear friend. I've known him for many years. During the making of Barfi, I remember very similar things happening. Everyone was like, oh, it's taking so long, and everyone was frustrated. They were like, Dada, what are you doing, and all that. But I really believe Dada makes beautiful and unique films. He makes extra special films that takes a little bit of extra time. It's as simple as that. And Dada is a true artist. You cannot rush him. See, a lot of us feel under pressure of release dates and of box office and of getting 2 releases out in a year or this or that. Dada is under pressure from nothing and from no one except, do I have something good to say in this moment? And until he's got everything in the right place and everything he's trying to attempt at or trying to execute, till everything lines up correctly and genuinely, he doesn't move on it, which is it's a very risky but very admirable trait for one to have. Also, having said that, the thing about Jaga Jasoos is it's not a normal film. When people see the film, they're going to understand that it is an attempt at a genre which has never been done before in Hindi cinema. It's as simple as that. And when you are trying something which has never been done, there's a lot of trial and error, and it's little painstaking. But that's how one attempts to move forward and make big steps in cinema.
You know, your family has been your biggest support system. You've always said that. But if I may ask that, apart from your family, who would you say is the most influential person in your life?
There are people. I have people who are important and whose value and whose opinion matters greatly to me. But honestly, in the hardest times in life, besides, of course, as you said, your mom and your friends, and of course you take advice from your family and lots of people, but really the person that you need to trust the most is yourself. And you need to trust in yourself, and then, I don't know what religion you may follow, but I believe if you are a believer in God, then that is the biggest and the greatest help of all. To believe in a higher power that lets you and allows you to believe that everything that happens is for a reason, and there is someone and a higher power who is watching out for you and guiding your life where it should go.
Given a chance to go back in time, one thing will you change, or you will just keep?
I would go back and tell myself at every moment where I stressed and I was extremely worried and taking a lot of tension to not do that, because it usually doesn't help.
Katrina, you have a near 100% track record with Salman. So if given a chance to work with him...
He's not moving from that. He's not moving. He's staying there. He's staying with Tiger.
And people actually wanted to see you guys back together. So anything happening soon in terms of films?
Again, as I said, I have not yet signed any new film. But as I said, I have not yet signed any new film. But as and when I do, the announcement shall not be hidden from you, I promise. It shall come swiftly, and the announcement as soon as, if and when, let's change that.
Okay,
when anything gets locked, and as soon as anything is locked, I promise I shall push in the direction of each of the makers to announce it very swiftly to each and every one of you.
How about you working with Adda? You're working with for the first time.
That's right.
So how was it working with them?
It was amazing. I mean, I have answered the question in the beginning, but I can answer again. I did, but but I can answer again. But you want me to elaborate on it? I can. Huh? Describe my character. I did. I can add more to that. So I was saying that when in a romantic film, you do have to have, yes, chemistry comes from the script and from the characters on paper, but it does help if you have that ease and if you have that trust. You have to trust the person in front of you. You have to trust their intentions. You have to trust them. You're looking into another person's eyes and performing, and you're exposing yourself and you're exposing your emotions, and that really helps if the person, if you have that comfort level and that ease with the person, and so that was very, very helpful in making that possible and making that comfortable. There was never a moment where I think he came in as a slightly more newer person in the film industry, and I came in thinking I've done more films. We both came in just as people who were, I think, obsessed minorly with making this film work and getting it right, and that kind of passion and energy. And I also saw, after I think it was Ek Villain, the film he did, Ek Villain, that I really thought he's a very strong romantic hero. He's a very strong person, the physique, the persona, which is, his voice also. It's a very, commanding presence.
Katrina, how do you celebrate Ganpati?
Last question.
Different places, my friend's house.
Will you ever get Ganpati at your place?
Of course, it would be wonderful.